Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Erin and I do mostly budgeting videos like the one you are about to see here. A couple of things I'm going to cover in this video, going over what our current bills are. One of the things that I've been contemplating is finally switching out of this particular notebook. I want to set up in a different one, even if it's just in a completely different Happy Planner notes notebook. This one has pretty small discs on it, so I had to change that anyway. So I thought, while I'm at it, why don't I just do a brand new one and switch out the cover and, I don't know, just have it all look nice and neat and clean. So I need to really get organized because I'm going to be doing my budgeting in a bit of a different way. And right now, if you guys have been with my channel for a while, you know that my husband was laid off last year, and he's still collecting benefits, and he was supposed to be placed in a different job location by the end of March. Well, because of the virus situation and so many things with companies and corporations being on hold, that plan is also on hold. So what does that mean for us? It's just a little bit more of a waiting game and the inability to really plan far into the future. But right now, I think everybody is going through that situation where they're not able to plan very far into the future. There's so many things that are just up in the air for everyone. And so it'll still all work out. He still has income coming in. But what I've decided to do in the interim is just create a simplified budget for us that includes going over our bills and paying our bills just twice a month instead of every single week. It was just a little bit cumbersome. We've been doing it that way for years. So, I mean, there definitely was a rhyme and reason behind it, but I want to simplify things now. You're seeing over here, I do have a little sheet with some notes on it, because if I didn't, I wouldn't be able to get through this quite as quickly. So I'm just going to start here with what our bills are. So our current bill situation is going to include all of our utilities, expenses, the things that are fixed expenses, variable expenses, and things that change by the week or by the month or by the year. I'm actually going to leave those out of this because those are something that are not quite as concrete as, say, a utility bill. So first things first, I want to put day of the month, and then the bill, and then the amount. Now, as I switch into a different notebook, I may redo this, rewrite it just so it looks better. I'm not sure, but we'll just use this for now. Okay, so first things first. So the first day of the month is going to be our mortgage, and I'm writing down pretty specific. We're going to be at $946. So that includes our mortgage loan, or our home loan with the bank, and it also includes our property taxes. It does not include our homeowner's insurance, and I'll get to that. You know, a couple of things have changed since I have really explained this in depth. So on the 3rd of the month, we have our car insurance that's due. Now, some of you may be thinking, why don't you just bundle your car insurance with your homeowners and your other insurances? And the reason is, we looked into that. We looked at our insurance expenses every which way we could, and we have an insurance broker that my husband has been friends with for a really long time. They went to school together, so he has always like shopped around for us and looked at different companies just to see what the rates are and stuff. And for us right now, it just does make sense for us to keep it separate. A little bit more cumbersome, you know, with bill paying, but still it is separate. Okay, so on the 4th of the month, our gas bill is due, and this is our utility gas. So if you guys remember, that's a 5. If you guys remember watching my videos before, I used to budget like $200 a month for gas and $200 for electric, because our gas bills could be very high in the winter and our electric bills could be very high in the summer. And what I've decided to do is cut back that high budgeting and leave it at $150. So I cut back by $50 each, and it's still probably not going to equal that much ever, but I like to be more covered than not. So I just build in that extra padding just to make sure that I have enough money set aside for the utilities to cover them, because the last thing we need is not to have enough money budgeted when we go to pay the bill. So the next one, on the 5th of every month, my lease is due. So I'm going to call that lease number 1. And that's going to be $320. Now, a couple of you have asked me in the past, like, you know, maybe it would make more sense for you to buy a car. I really don't put hardly any miles on a car. And so at this time in my life, and when I say that, I mean the current 3-year stretch that I'm in with this lease, I don't really see the need to purchase a car. It would be a lot more expensive than a lease payment. If I had to pay for this particular car within a 5 or 6 month period, this could probably double or even triple. I don't know. But anyways, you know, if you don't put any money down. So at this time in our lives, it just makes sense for us to continue the lease for me. On the 18th of every month, we have our cell phone bill due. And you guys might remember that our cell phone was probably in excess of right around $265 a month. We had a few devices that we were paying for. I have since paid those off, so our bill is back down to about this amount. And I really hope that this current phone that I have, which I have the latest iPhone, I hope that it lasts me a lifetime. Why I went with the 3 cameras instead of 2, I have no idea. It just happened to be what Sam's Club was promoting, so it was real expensive to pay off. So I really don't ever want to see our cell phone bill go above this again, because this is outrageous. So on the 20th of every month is our homeowners insurance. And it has a couple other little things, like a couple little policies for things that we wanted to insure built into that. So it's $139 a month. And on the 20th also, our electric bill is due. And I budgeted $150 just like for the gas. And then on the 28th, my student loan is due. And I've had this for years, guys. Oh my gosh. And it's just $95. On the 20th, no, I'm sorry, the 29th, our cable bill is due, and our cable is outrageous. This is just for basic cable. HBO that we bought into, it was a 6-month special. We did that in the fall, so we should be able to cancel that pretty soon, actually, if we don't want to keep it. It is our internet, and that's basically it. We don't have a home phone or anything built into that, so we don't have a choice unless we went with, you know, DirecTV or some kind of dish or satellite. We just have the one cable company in our area, so we don't get a chance to shop around, which is, you know, to me, that's outrageous, but it's just the way it is where we live. So our water, it also includes our sewage. I'm bumping that up from $90 to $100 a month. And the reason I'm doing that is because we are currently under the quarantine situation and we are using much more water than usual. So I'm just noticing that. We're running the dishwasher. I'm such an old-fashioned person. I can honestly say we really didn't use our dishwasher hardly ever before this situation. And now, because you want to make sure everything is sanitized, and there's 3 of us in the house, it's myself, my husband, and my nephew, you know, I want to make sure that everything is sanitized. So I have been pre-washing the dishes and then washing them again in the dishwasher with hot water. And it's just something that I want to do that I feel comfortable with. So we're using a lot more water in that aspect, washing a lot more clothes, towels, and things like that, you know, just everything. So it's just, I can tell that our bill is going to be higher. So I'm padding that in to our budget as well. So on the 29th also, 29th is a big day for us with bills being due, is lease number 2, and this is for my husband's vehicle, and it is $340. Now, I don't know when his lease is up if he will choose to lease again or if he will go ahead and buy something. Typically for work, he used to put on a lot more miles going back to work than I ever did, so he may end up wanting to buy something. We did start a sinking fund for a car, and we have some money in that, so we're going to continue building into that, just with the assumption that we will use it for the purchase of a car or as our down payment money on the next lease, whatever it turns out to be. And then I don't have a date yet for this, but I talked to you guys about this. I did replace my laptop for home, and it is going to be, it's like $64 and change. So I'm going to just round that up to 65, and that's for 12 months, no interest. And I got it on Amazon, and I applied for the Amazon credit card. And I got like $60 off, and then of course I got free shipping with Prime, and I did end up going with the same MacBook Air. So that is that. And then trash, I'm not even going to build this in. I'm going to put this in parentheses. I do have to account for it when it comes due, but it's every 3 months, and it's just under $60, so it's about $20 a month for our trash. So I'm going to put that here, but I'm not going to build that into my total. I'm going to build all of this, like everything above, into the total. So the grand total for the bills is $28.40. Okay, so that is everything plus $60 for trash would make this an even $2,900 a month. So those are our expenses and our fixed expenses, and all our utilities and things, loans, things that we have to pay for every single month. And so what this doesn't account for is anything extra. And by extra, I mean things that aren't truly extra, they're still necessities. So this doesn't include food or gas for our cars. It doesn't include any type of spending money or any type of personal care or pet care for, we have 3 pugs and they need to go to the vet more often than they should. But we have a lot of extra expenses just like everybody does. And so those are the things that I usually put into a cash envelope. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a virtual cash envelope situation where I show you guys how I allocate that money. But I'm not actually going to be stuffing money, because while we're under quarantine, I just don't feel the need to go out just to get cash, just to stuff it, because I'm not going out to spend money anyway. And so that's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to do virtual cash envelopes. And yeah, so our total income, so we can do this for both my husband and I. And, you know, I know that this is, you know, it could be a really sensitive topic for a lot of people, because for most people, finances are just a really personal thing. I put this out here on YouTube because on one hand, I think it's generic because, you know, you don't really know the ins and outs of my life, and I'm not giving you super personal information. I'm giving you numbers. So that's why I do it. And I also do it that way just so my videos can make sense. And so you can see the entire picture, because I do know that there are some people who have left comments before and they have talked about how the real numbers help them and how it kind of gives them, you know, that full snapshot of what I'm talking about and maybe why I do the things the way I do them. And so if I can help somebody, you know, that's a plus in my book. So right now with my income and his income, we have 50/48. So depending on what happens with his job, this could go up, this could go down. I don't know. And the only thing I'm grateful for is that right now he does have his benefits coming in, so we are able to cover all of our expenses. But we still haven't taken out any of our variable expenses. So if I take 5048 minus 2900, it'd be easier with a calculator. I have 2148 remaining. So out of this, we budget around $100 a month for food. I'm sorry, $100 a week. I just realized what I said. We budget around $100 a week for food, give or take. Now, that's basically groceries, and if we go out to eat, it could be more. So $17.48, and we budget around, I don't know, about $60 a week for both of us for gas. So that would be $240 in gas. Now, again, if things change, that could go up or down, but right now that's pretty average for us. So that leaves us $1,500. And for our pets, we budget, I'm gonna say like $25 a week for their food, because it's just under 25. So that's $100 for pet food only. Now, if they need, you know, some kind of extra veterinary care, who knows what that could be, but I do have a sinking fund for that as well. So if we go 1408, so we have food, we have, let's see, I'm trying to see if I have an old sheet that maybe talks about this. I guess that's probably about it. So out of this, I like to put some into savings, because we had to borrow quite a bit from savings to make our bills stretch, and well, to meet our bills over the past 6 months. And so I want to pay us back, but also I want to make sure that we are saving a little bit over and above that. So basically, this is the number we have left over. Now, if we have a birthday, or we go out to eat, or we go to an activity, say we go to a movie, or, you know, say we take a vacation, which we haven't done in forever, you know, everything has to come out of here. So this is actually something I'm totally comfortable with. Like, if this stayed our situation forever, I'm fine with that. I just want to make sure that we're able to meet, you know, our fixed expenses and then our basic variable expenses. Anything over that is clearly just bonus for me. And so that is our situation. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my budget with me for this week, this particular payday, and the bills we have to pay separately. And yeah, then I'll check in with you guys again very soon. And if you have any other budgeting questions, that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about. If you have some budgeting questions, I would love if you left them below, because I would like to do an entire video where I answer your questions. Now, of course, I'm not a financial analyst or a financial advisor or anything like that, but I have been through the gamut of budget situations, and I can offer you any kind of advice from my own personal experience, if that can be of help. So yeah, leave any questions you have below. I would love to kind of, you know, tally them up, and then talk to you guys about them in a future video, and hopefully get that recorded very soon. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this explanation video, and hopefully I will see you guys soon. Stay well.